everybody, welcome back to Much Ado About Board Games.
Formerly Board Game Bites.
Since you're not used to seeing us in person, we're going to go ahead and introduce ourselves. I'm Melanie.
And I'm Monte.
I'm a librarian at Lone Star College Sci-Fair.
And I'm still not.
Today we're bringing you a special edition of Much Ado About Board Games. It's our Herding Cats Roundup.
Yay!
We're doing this in conjunction with National Adopt a Cat Month. So keep watching and we're going to walk you through some of our favorite and maybe not so favorite cat-themed board games. There are 3 games that we don't have that I might like to have that I haven't played, so maybe I'll have a chance to test them out or we'll just go on blind faith and buy them. The first one is a newer game called Kibble Scuffle. Then there's Here Kitty Kitty, which every time I see it, I want it because it has these little kitten miniatures and they're so cute and I want them to all come. And the last one is Cat Cafe. Now Monty has one that he wants to tell you about too.
Also, we don't have, but we will get eventually, Katzenjammer Blues, which is an older card game by Reiner Knizia, which will be added to the collection at some point.
Next, we're going to talk about a couple of games that even though at first glance they look like they're cat games, they're really not. The first one is called Sparkle Kitty, and I actually really enjoy this game, not only because of the name and the adorable box, and there's rainbows and a tiara. What more could you ask for? But it's actually a game that has to do with princesses and spells. It's really great for little ones who are learning how to read and who really enjoy that princess theme.
And we're also not going to include on our cat theme list, Jaipur. Great 2-player game, just not perfect for our list.
That was bad. Next up, we're going to talk about our 5 favorite cat games. But before we get to those, we're going to show you 2 honorable mentions. The first one is Cat Rescue. This is an adorable game. You're rescuing cats from off the streets. It's a cooperative game, meaning that you're playing as a team. So either the whole team wins or the whole team loses. It can be from 1 to 4 players. So if you live alone or you don't have anyone else to play cat games with, you can do this one. It takes about 15 minutes to play and it's for players 8 and up.
The last game that will be on our honorable mention list that will not be in our top 5 is the game You Gotta Be Kitten Me. You Gotta Be Kitten Me is a bluffing game for 2 to 10 players. It's fun, it's fast, but there are better games like this out there. There's Liar's Dice, Perudo, and Bluff. Good game, there's just better out there.
We've made it to what you've all been waiting for, our top 5 cat games. We're going to present these to you in no particular order because we love all of these games for one reason or another. You might have noticed that Monty's looking a little bit different. He's in a cone of shame, and that cone of shame is part of the game Exploding Kittens. This is probably one that you've seen before. It's very popular. It started as a Kickstarter, and it's made by the people who do the oatmeal. So it's a lot of fun and really cute. We got ours off of Kickstarter, so our box has a little, when you open it, which is another thing I love about it, it's like Uno and Russian roulette with cats and lasers and telling the future. It's for ages 7 and up for 2 to 5 players. It takes about 2 minutes to learn and 15 minutes to play. Now you might be asking, how did that cone of shame fit in this little box?
How did this cone of shame fit in that little box?
I'm going to tell you. It's from an expansion called Imploding Kittens. They have several expansions to choose from. They just add extra fun and a different layer of gameplay. So if you haven't played Exploding Kittens, it's one that you should definitely check out.
The next game in our top 5, in no particular order, is the wonderful game Felix the Cat in the Sack. Now, Felix the Cat in the Sack is a game by Friedman Fries, the German green-haired genius, and it is a bidding game for 3 to 5 players. It's hard to find a bidding game that's great for 3, and this is best with 3. Great bidding game where you're trying to bid for cards of high-scoring cats and stay away from those negative-scoring dogs, mean dogs. It plays 3 to 5 players, ages 8 and up, and it takes about 20 to 30 minutes. Great game. Unfortunately, you probably cannot find the game anymore that is actually called Felix the Cat in the Sack. Nowadays, you will find this game under the name Felicity the Cat in the Sack. Apparently, the people who own the rights to Felix the Cat didn't like the idea that they used Felix the Cat in the title. They won. It was changed to Felicity the Cat in the Sack. Excellent game by Friedman Freeze. One of our top 5.
Next up is one of my favorite, I think they're probably all my favorite, cat games called Kitty Paw. We saw this at a board game convention. When I saw the ears and I saw the eyes and the adorable kitty, I had to play this game. When we're at a board game convention, it's usually me and a bunch of dudes, and they're really nice and they play games like this with me. So part of this game, it's speed. You have to do it as fast as you can, and it's spatial recognition. So kind of like tanagrams, or you're putting things in a puzzle together exactly the right way. As soon as you finish and you have all of your cats stacked the right way, you have to yell out, "Kitty Paw!" So the best part of this game was sitting at a table with grown men as they were yelling, "Kitty Paw!" in the middle of a big ballroom. It's a lot of fun. So this game is for 1 to 4 players, ages 6 and up, and it takes about 20 to 30 minutes to play. Along with Kitty Paw, we have the game Cat Tower and Cat Box. All of these games have that same element of speed and the spatial recognition where you're racing other people to finish. All 3 of these games, we're going to go through an in-depth run-through as Adopt a Cat Month continues.
The next game on our top 5 list, in no particular order, is the quite hefty, The Isle of Cats. If you say it real fast, it sounds like you're saying, "I love cats." So The Isle of Cats is a 1 to 4 player game. It is for ages 8 and up, and it takes about an hour to an hour and a half. Now, even though most of the games we have been talking about thus far have been pretty light and easy entry, easy to teach, this one is definitely a heavier game. It deals with card drafting, tile placement, resource management, so there's more going on. It does come with a family mode, which kind of strips out a lot of that, which does make it more accessible to new gamers, but there's a lot here if you want it, and there are expansions you can get for it, which add a 5th player. And so instead of 1 to 4, 1 to 5, and it comes with really nice chunky wooden pieces. This is the game we might cover later. This is The Isle of Cats.
It's a game we're definitely going to cover later. You forgot to show them the inside of the box.
Oh. The cool thing about Isle of Cats as well is that inside the box, it actually has a place for your cat to lay. It's an actual box for your cat to lay in while you're playing the game. So maybe we will try this out later with our cat.
If you're still here with us, we really appreciate it. We're down to our last game, and it's one of my favorites, Cat Lady. This is the premium edition tin that just came out, and I'm really happy that we have it. This is a set collecting game where you're collecting cards to make sure that you have the most points to prove that you are the best cat lady or cat gentleman that's playing the game. So you'll be saving cats, you'll be feeding them, you'll be collecting toys, and at the end of the round, you add up your points, and whoever has the most wins. This game is for ages 8 and up. It's for 2 to 4 players, and it takes about 30 minutes to play. I've never met anyone who didn't love this game after they played it. This game will also be featured in one of our Much Ado About Board Game close-ups, where we'll walk you through all the components and exactly how you play and score the game as we continue to celebrate Adopt a Cat Month. Meow. Thanks for joining us for this special episode of Much Ado About Board Games, our Herding Cat Games Roundup. You'll see we have our own special rescue kitty here, Gracie. She just wanted to stop by to remind you to adopt, don't shop. And if you can open up your home to a cat, you won't regret it. We'll see you next week.
Bye.